Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, and today we're going to go through Google AI Studio, which has gotten a lot of revamp. And I first of all want to thank you guys for getting me to 200 subscribers. I know that seems small, but I am very grateful. Thank you guys for trusting in me, and I will be uploading more videos soon. I have been on a bit of a break, but I'm back, and my goal is to make sure that you are up to date with all the latest AI news, all the latest AI all the latest AI what all the latest AI softwares all the latest AI softwares that are coming out. Just make sure that you are up to date with it. And today we're mostly going to go through Google AI Studio, and I just want to go through a couple of the entire interface. So this is like it's pretty new, like what they've already done right now. So they've kind of like combined everything all in one space. So you have on your top left, so once you go to Google AI Studio, just Google that. I'm already going through that in another video. So on the top left here we have chat, and this is where you can chat with a model. And then under that we have stream. So stream basically is kind of like what we had done before. So here you can click on talk and then be able to chat with it live. Hi. Yeah, so we have that. So that's stream, and then after that we have generate media, and this is basically where you can generate different types of media. So we have Google Google Gemini image generation. What am I saying? With Gemini image generation, and then we have Gemini speech generation. I'm going to do a video on all of this. I just want to do like a whole compilation video, just showing you what the site looks like right now and what you can do with it. And then we have image gen. So this is like Google's answer to ChatGPT's image generation, and it's really good. We're going to do a video on that as well. And then after that, we also have, let me just go back here. We also have VO3. I am going to show you how this works and just like the capabilities that we have with VO3. So in the Google AI Studio, currently you can only generate with VO2, but when we go to flow, which I'm going to do another video on, we can now generate with VO3, which is very good. So here we can generate with VO2, and then the other thing that you can do as well is that we have Gemini speech generation. So this is just basically where you can input your prompt and then it will come up with speech. And after that we have build on the top left here. This is where you can build certain apps. I'm going to do another video on that. And then after that, under that we have history. So this is where your charts history are going to be located. So this is where, for example, this one, this is script generation, and then Google AI Studio there. So that's basically the top left. And then on the far right here, we have getting your Google API key. So just click on that, and then you'll be able to generate an API key. And then let me just go back to Studio here. And then after that we have Studio. That's just where we were. And after that we have dashboard. So this is kind of like still takes you back to the API key, and then documentation there. And then under that we have run settings, and this is where you can choose the model that you want. So for example, here we have Google Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then we have 2.5 Pro Flash and 2.5 Pro Flash Preview. So the one that I'm currently using is 2.5 Pro Preview. I feel like that's a bit easier, and it takes a bit more reasoning, and you can see the use cases here. They've clearly outlined them there. And then we have Gemini 2.0. This is what we had done previously in the other video, where you can generate images. And after that we have Gemini 1.5 and Gemma and just other models. So this is where you can pick your models from. And then after that we have the token count. So token count is more or less the number of words that you can use with ChatGPT. And a token is basically how the word is going to be broken down in a way that the model can understand, because they don't necessarily understand words. They break down a word into numbers, into like sections. So for example, if it's the word banana, it may be broken down to BANANA. So that's like 3 tokens more or less, so in that one word. So that's token number, it's like 1,000,000. So that's the maximum that you can reach. And the more tokens that you use up, the closer that number gets to 1,000,000, the slower it becomes. So you'll have to like open up a new chart. After that we have tools. We have temperature here. And temperature basically is the higher you go. So for example, if I go to like 1.5 there, it's going to come up with more random and more creative suggestions or more creative prompts or more creative answers. So that's, just have that in mind. If you want to do something very creative, you can use the temperature. And then here we have tools, and tools basically is just the tools that you can allow the LLM to have. So for example, here we have the one that I use a lot is grounding it with Google search. You might want to know what is happening right now, and for you, so for example, if it's news, something that maybe happened last week, if it's something about, let's say, Google VO3, if you want to Google about Google VO3, if you don't turn on, if you do not really ground it with Google search, there's a high chance that it's going to hallucinate. By that I mean that it's going to give information that's not very relevant or very accurate. So when you ground it with Google search, it's going to search Google and come up with relevant and more accurate data. So always have that in mind. I use this a lot. And then they've also added URL context. So what this does is that it will be able to now read URL that are in the prompt. And then we have function calling. Let me turn that off. And then we have function calling as well. We have code execution and structured output. So this is just like you can structure the kind of output that you want. And then under that we have advanced settings. So this one I don't usually really touch. Yeah, so it's the ones that I feel like you should definitely be aware of is grounding it with Google search. And then also, just if you want to come up with something very creative, for example, if you want to come up with a prompt for an image, you can increase the temperature. And on the very top right, when you click on the settings icon there, on the gear icon, you have the option to change from light theme to dark theme, and then also like the system theme, which is the system that you're using. And then we have the terms of service, the privacy, and send feedback and building support. So basically that's it. And I feel like this for me has become such a good tool to be using on a daily basis. It's become like my daily AI driver, and I highly recommend it. Google AI Studio for me has become, Gemini 2.4 2.5 Pro has become slightly better at reasoning, in my opinion, compared to ChatGPT as where we are right now. So, and on the very last one, I just want to show you here on the very top here, we have chat prompt. When you click on the system instructions, this is where you can give the LM the main kind of like prompt that you want every single interaction that you're going to have in that chat to have. So for example, if you want the AI to be a specific persona, this is where you can input that prompt. And then here we have get SDK. I'm going to touch on that. And then we have save prompt. This is where you can save the prompt that you're just using. And if you want to compare different models, so for example, if you want to compare the output of 2.5 Pro and then 2.5 Flash, you can compare the models here as well. And that's basically it. I highly recommend that you go through Google AI Studio. I feel like it's one of the best that we have right now, and it has put everything all in one place. And I just want to touch on the last bit, something I forgot when it comes to stream, is we have the option to chat with it when you click on talk, just like how do we ChatGPT's voice mode. And then we have webcam. This is where you can share your webcam, and then Google AI Studio will be able to see you or see your environment. And then you have share screen, where the Google AI Studio can now act like an expert and guide you through certain things that you may not really understand. So that's basically it. And here on the top, on the right hand side, is where again where you can choose the mode that you want, and then you can output the kind of format that you want, and then you can choose a voice because you'll be talking with it here. This is where you can choose a voice, and then here is the token number. And then just basically that's it. I don't really think you should touch anything else apart from maybe grounding it with search. That's really important because it just helps you keep the AI up to date. So that's basically it. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos or more videos on image generation. I've already done that before. So I think now I'm going to do a couple of videos on video generation as well. So that's it for this video. I didn't want it to be very long. And again, thank you guys for getting me to 200 subscribers. We're going to continue going on up to like 1,000 subscribers. That's the plan. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.